Springfield. I'm Dominique, and I'm on the scene with Kris Palmer. Now, she is a longtime veteran of the music scene, and I'm so glad to have you on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's start off with how did you get started in Springfield? Are you from here?
Oh, wow.
You know, and how long have you been part of the music scene?
Of everything. Wow. Good question. Long time. I just turned 50, as we all know, and
well, you look gorgeous. Oh my God.
Okay, well, I didn't. Thanks. But no, saying that, or what I mean by that is, I've been singing since I was about, I think I was 13. With my first big studio experience, you know, and then I did some things with Lou Whitney when I was in high school. And I think everybody kind of remembers Lou.
Yeah.
So, been around for a long time, but after I got out of the military, I came home, and that's when I met 6ix9ine. He's in my current new band, The Sauce.
Which we saw just recently at Shuffle. That was a little bit.
I'm so glad you guys came. Yeah, it was a good time. But that's when I met him. I've known him that long, and we were in a band together called TOC. And then I moved away. Touch of Class. Oh, yeah, it's very, very classy for the 90s. It's great. But we played at the Zodiac Club and a couple other places in town, which was just, oh my God, throwback. Talk about it. So, but yeah, we, I don't know, kind of started there, and I moved away, pursuing musical dreams, so to speak, first in Virginia, because we had a hookup or somebody who knew somebody in the music business is so crazy. So, in Virginia, for Missy Elliott and the New Jack Swing crew with, Teddy Riley and all those guys. So, went out there and did a few things that never didn't come of anything, and then moved to Atlanta shortly after that. So, when all of that went down, I came back from Atlanta from Hurricane Katrina. And at the time, we had been working on a original band, Nappy's Joint, in Atlanta. So, and that was the one that we were, working with Zach Brown on, and had been for some years, and we were just getting it all finished and stuff. So, when we finally came back here, I guess it was 2005 is when I joined a band after running into 6ix9ine. I got here, I guess Katrina was late August. So it was of 2005. And so by December, I was in C Club. So it took 3 months or something. And it was me running into 6ix9ine at the High Life. And we had talked, and he was like, "Hey, you gotta come and see this band I'm in, it could be a lot of fun, and blah, 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 it's funk, and, all the stuff, we love from back in the day, and this, that, and the other." And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I went, and it worked out, and about a year later, we broke off and created Pearl.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a long time.
That was a long, 12 years. Good Lord. Yeah, it's a long time. So most relationships don't last that long. It's like, whew, yeah. But we were around for some time. We were, we had our highs and our lows, like any group does, But for the most part, the last 12 years with Pearl were some of best I've had in music. I mean, just in general. Yeah.
Didn't you do your last show of Pearl at Shuffle as well? Was it Shuffle or was it somewhere else?
I want to say it was Shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think it was Shuffle. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to have the last show at Crave.
Yeah, but poor Crave.
I know, makes me sad.
Oh my gosh,
man,
driving
so
by
many
that
memories.
parking lot. Oh my
yeah,
God,
it
it's
just
so
breaks
sad.
my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, we we're here, and we felt like we made a fairly memorable impact to the music community while we were here. So it was time to kind of do something else, and I kind of put my foot down to booking about a little over a year ago or so, and I was like, let's do something else, please. So unfortunately, the COVID's hit, or we would have had the Sauce would have debuted earlier. Mm-hmm. But things happen for a reason,
Exactly.
Yeah. So we were grateful for the pause. We were able to get pretty tight. I mean, we have some things that we need to work on, but otherwise, we felt pretty good about the show and felt good about that. As far as being here and in the scene, I've been in the scene since I was probably 22, 23 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. The amount of people I've been blessed to play with is kind of great. Mm-hmm. Also, just to mention, we're going to be putting together a benefit kind of a last Pearl party for Scott. Mm-hmm. Our beloved guitar player, Scott Avery, passed away recently. And so those of us that are in Pearl and that have played with Pearl over the years and have played with Scott are going to have the opportunity to honor him on November 13th. At the Riff. So if
that's so sad that he passed away.
just totally unexpected. Mm-hmm. The family was hit with some fairly large financial surprises when this kind of thing happens. So whatever we can bring together for them is what we can. Hopefully we'll have a good showing, and we'd love to have anyone who is a friend of Scott, and especially anyone who's ever played with Pearl, to come in and sit in with us. And the remaining members of Pearl are going to do an hour and a half to 2 hour show of some of our favorites and some of Scott's favorites. Mm-hmm. So we hope to see everybody there, because it's going to be fun, and it'll be just kind of like the last hurrah for Scotty. So.
Well,
anyway.
He would love that.
Oh, yeah.
A musical week. That
would
be awesome.
Yeah, he'd love that. So.
Wow. So, who are some of your influences?
Local or
both?
Otherwise? Both.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Local, Granny's Bathwater, probably big time. My mom was really into Granny's when I was a kid. The Daredevils were a heavy influence in my childhood too. Also, let me see. Recently, I think Speakeasy, the energy, Andy Frasco, the energy is just unmatched, just ridiculous. Let me see, in the larger scale, I grew up listening to Prince, Michael Jackson, Pat Benatar, Madonna, Duran Duran, the Police, these are, REM, I loved a lot of stuff. I also, my dad was heavily into, so was my mom, into Stevie Wonder and the Commodores and, Earth, Wind and Fire. And then I watched hip hop kind of take on a whole thing of its own growing up. And, Public Enemy was one of my all-time faves, and MC Lyte. And I guess I'd have to say Shaka Khan's probably my biggest female vocal influence. Like her vocals always fascinated me, and how she was able to do certain things. And her and Whitney Houston probably. You know,
love that.
Whitney's like, what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Even if you listen to her now, it's just like,
wow. I know.
I didn't even understand what was happening. You know
There's
what I mean?
not a lot of people like even come close to her at all nowadays.
Insanity.
Yeah. So, what venues in town have you played?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Yes.
All of them that once were, all of them that are no more, and all of them that still remain.
Isn't it so weird to see that?
Well, I've played the Gilloys and the Shrine. We've played, the big venues. Yeah. We've played all of the cook-off stuff and the Rock and Ribs and the, big events. And we're just blessed with, the city loved us. Mm-hmm. And we loved them back. We just had a ball playing, and the lake was always fun. During the summer times, we'd run to both lakes. Mm-hmm. Every weekend, every other weekend, playing somewhere, doing something. So for years, good Lord. But yeah, just it was a good ride. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you're still going strong. So
yes,
really cool.
Yes. I'll be doing this till I'm dead, probably. Whether anybody wants to watch it or not.
So you are such a strong singer. I know you don't play any instruments, but your voice is really, really awesome. And I know that you did music lessons or singing lessons, but you're not doing it right now just because of COVID.
Yeah. Parents are being bombarded already with so much online schooling, and unless the child just really is determined to do something like this throughout, what I've done is I would send my students, especially new ones, videos of instructions on how to warm up and how to kind of keep your stuff fresh and all that kind of thing throughout, regardless. And so they have those tools and those things already. So, and they still check in with me occasionally and see how they're doing. And, but yeah, they're doing all right. But yeah, I'm not officially taking any students right now.
So, is it just children that you coach, or do you also do adults?
Okay. Most of my students have been children. But I've had a couple of adults that are actually in the music scene here in Springfield reach out to me, and we've had a few lessons. And what I was upset about with the COVID thing is that I had only been able to get in, especially with one of them, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't know how comfortable he is with that. Like, I don't know if he wants people to know that he's like, you know what I mean? So, but I only had like 4 solid lessons with him in prior to the lockdown. So it was pretty great because just to see somebody go from literally that talk singing thing where they're not really sure how to sing or reverberate, to then all of a sudden getting it, and it's like this light bulb moment, and it was like he got it, and it was like, oh, can't wait till next week. Oh, we're locked down now. Oh, dang it. Yeah, so but once things kind of get back to more and he's not playing right now either. So he's not playing out and doing much of anything in the scene at all right now. So once that kind of gets back to normal, I have a feeling that will too. Yeah.
So is it hard to have lessons over like Zoom because of the sound?
Well, the issues I have is that I did not graduate from college, so I don't use theory technically for my vocal lessons. I don't use sheet music. I don't use those things. I use intuitive things that I've learned myself over my whole life, essentially, on vocal control and how to project and emote and those things. And so that's really hard to do when you're not in person. Because demonstration does not have the same energy on video as it does in the flesh. And so those things have just been put on pause. And, you know, just a couple of the parents, but I only had 5 students. So, and that's because I just didn't have time for more than that. And I like to dedicate at least an hour to each of them as often as I can. So with that, you know, the parents would, you know, ask me, maybe we can wait till this time or wait till this time. And now that we both all kind of realize we don't know when this time is going to be,
right?
Everything's still kind of up in the air, right? So because of that, everything's just kind of on pause until things kind of get back to normal and people aren't nervous with the face-to-face.
So speaking of, you know, like quarantine and COVID thing all happening, what did you do during that time to still stay busy with music?
I ate a lot.
Ate a lot.
I ate a lot. Food is my friend. No, concentrated on the sauce.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Concentrate on the sauce. Listening to music, picking out music, making some decisions on, you know, kind of the flow that we wanted. You know, this just the whole feel, making sure that we were moving in the right direction. And I also spent a lot of time with activism as well, because I'm very supportive of that to the community itself. But music-wise was online quite a bit with the C Street stuff and
with Queen City Shop.
Yeah, it's Queen City Shop.
Now, we visited the Planeteca, the video there too with your artwork, and that's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Which I would love to have one of your paintings eventually on this wall.
Oh, well, your wall needs one of my paintings. Not mad at that. Yeah, right now there's a couple of them up at Shuffle. So, I don't know how long it'll be there till Dan decides to cut them down, I guess. I don't know. He's like, they're still up. Okay. That's whatever
awesome.
it is. So, yeah, but yeah, that's just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, trying to stay sane.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
So, for those that are trying to get out on the scene, it is hard because of COVID. Not many things are open right now. But what would you suggest for somebody that's a singer that doesn't play instruments? What would you suggest for them to do?
Dive into the scene itself. Be seen. Go to the open mics. Go see your favorite bands. Go find a favorite band. Locals usually embrace each other musically. We have a very tight-knit group of musicians in this town. We all kind of know each other and have a respect for one another in some way. So the scene is one that is welcoming to a certain degree, but you have to be aggressive in your ability to convince others that this is something you can do or something that you want to do. So the more that you go to open mics and these other musicians get to see you perform or get to see you do something, if you're not already someone who's in there, the respect will come. And so, and therefore you'll be able to be, you know, just a little bit more involved. And if it's someone that wants to like put their own band together, for instance, you just got to get to know the musicians in town and, you know, kind of circulate and market yourself. It's just like any other business. I mean, it's a business.
Right.
You have to push yourself to do things that might be a little uncomfortable. Just to make sure that you're memorable so that people are like, oh yeah, she sang her ass off, or oh yeah, that dude is a badass, you know. Make an impact, but you're going to have to get in front of people to do that. So just push yourself to get out front.
Yeah, it's all about networking all the time.
It really is. Yeah. It really is. And once you've kind of been noticed or recognized within the scene, dude, sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want. And the writers, producers, engineers, videographers, the shows, the support that the music community here has in town usually will just jump right on the newest and the latest person or talent that we find and really try to support them and put them out there. So shouldn't be timid. You know, there's a lot of people that are musicians though that have the personalities to where they're super, you know, laid back and they're not sure they want to, you know, they're not necessarily outward, you know, aggressive.
So what would you suggest for the singers that don't know any bands, know nothing, but they go to the open mics? Are there open mics around that will allow them to have like a background track for them? Do you know?
What do you mean?
You know, because they don't have a band to play the music, but they can sing. Can they bring you know, their music to the open mic for them to play like a background track?
Oh, I see why not. Most people, if they do it, I know that at Shuffle, they've had some artists that come in that add tracks to their performance or add things to their show. And I know that Jay Crespo did a whole show with tracks, and it was great. It was a great show.
Awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, if they have a PA system and a way to hook up to some type of, you know, that new technology stuff, like a laptop or a tablet or a phone,
Right.
you can pretty much do whatever you want now. The sky's the limit. So,
So don't let not having a band to back you up stop you.
Well, or not playing an instrument.
Yeah, or not playing an instrument. Yeah.
Now, I play a little piano, but not good enough to do it in front of anyone. Ever. Except my grandmother. She loves me anyway. You know?
That's
Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah, that's
I kill
a
it.
good one.
Yeah.
Her hot
Whip
Cross
It.
Buns.
I used to play.
Oh, wow. So, now the Sauce, when's your next show?
December 5th. Yeah.
Where at?
The Riff.
At the Riff.
Yes, at the Riff.
That's
Working
exciting.
it out.
That's very exciting.
And we're in talks to play the ballroom.
Oh, yeah.
Very soon, very soon. If anyone knows of a national act that, you know,
Would like to play it there?
or wants to play, let us know because we'd like to get them in there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, is there any other advice that that you might want to give that I didn't come up with a question for?
Just do you.
Yeah.
Just do you. Be yourself. There's too many people trying to be something else or someone else or somebody else's band, somebody else's sound, somebody else's deal. I say that being in an original band and being in a cover band. Even if you do covers, the songs were intended to be interpreted. Interpret them for yourself. Make them your own. That's why they were written. They weren't just written selfishly for the one person to be able to perform them.
Right.
They were written to be shared with the world and for people to take them for what they are and make them their own. Right. So that's what we do in the Sauce, and we will continue to do that because that's what it's about. It's about expressing our inner selves in the music, and I encourage anybody else that as long as you are doing that, regardless of whatever it is, it will always be authentic.
Well, thank you so much for being here on the scene with me. And we'll definitely have you back again, I'm sure. But it's been fun.
Let's be funny next time.
Yeah!
Super funny. Do things.
Do things. So, guys, make sure to check out her band, Sauce.
The Sauce.
And how do you find it on?
It's on Facebook. Yeah, the Sauce Band on Facebook, and or go to my page, Kris Palmer with a K, and I've got the event posted at least like every other day. So just scroll, scroll. And on our page, please feel free to follow and like. And we are going to be oh yeah, we also have. If you don't have plans for the 13th of February. Which is a Saturday. Valentine's is on a Sunday this next year.
Yeah, so get planning right now.
Yes, we're gonna. I'm just saying, put it in your calendar. February 13th. The Sauce is gonna be loving it and revving it up on the 13th February at Shuffle.
Oh,
for Valentine's.
Awesome.
So
awesome. Well, thank you again.
Yes.
And everybody else. Until next time. We'll see you later.